Most gardeners are trapped in the hot compost mindset, constantly flipping piles, chasing perfect heat, and obsessing over green-to-brown ratios. What they don't realize is that this approach often produces soil that feeds plants quickly, but burns through nutrients and kills the fungal networks that build real, lasting fertility. Over time, your raised beds or backyard garden may look productive, but the soil underneath is weak, dehydrated, and dependent on constant intervention. The consequence? You're spending more money on fertilizers, struggling to keep moisture in the soil, and dealing with plants that aren't as resilient as they could be. If you want soil that works for you, rather than the other way around, you need to embrace leaves, not just compost. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss more practical, results-driven strategies for your garden. I also want to mention a tool I use constantly to monitor my soil and leaf piles: the RioTemp 36-inch Fahrenheit Backyard Pro Compost Thermometer with digital composting guide. The link is in the description. It's not just for hot compost. Tracking temperature and moisture in your leaf piles gives you insight into your fungal activity, which is crucial for this method. Stop relying on hot compost to build your soil. Here's the hard truth. Hot compost favors bacteria, fast nutrient release, and short-term growth. That's fine if you need quick green up, but it's terrible for long-term soil health. High temperatures, often above 140 degrees Fahrenheit, kill fungi and volatilize, slow-release nutrients. In raised beds, where I've tested this over several seasons, hot composting resulted in soil that looked rich initially, but dried out quickly, lost fertility over summer, and forced repeated fertilization. By contrast, leaves decompose slowly, support fungal networks, and retain both moisture and nutrients for months, even years. Fungal-dominated soil is a slow game with huge payoffs. Leaves, especially hardwood leaves like oak, maple, or beech, create an environment where fungi dominate. Fungi break down complex carbon compounds, producing humus that improves soil structure, stores water, and slowly releases nutrients as plants need them. In my backyard beds, I layer chopped leaves 2 to 3 inches deep in the fall. Over winter, fungi colonize the pile. By spring, the soil is dark, crumbly and full of life, ready to support seedlings without the extreme nutrient spikes or burn risks of hot compost. In hydroponic media or container setups, adding 10 to 15% leaf mold by volume into coco coir or peat mixes creates a fungal-rich environment that encourages root growth and steady nutrient uptake. Leaves outperform compost because they feed the soil, not just the plants. Compost gives a quick nutrient hit, but leaves build resilience. They store water, retain nutrients, and enhance microbial diversity. I've experimented with alternating applications. In one bed, I used only compost. In another, I layered leaves with minimal compost. The leaf-dominated beds consistently had better water retention, deeper roots, and stronger yields. Even under stress, like heat waves or inconsistent watering, these beds bounce back faster than their hot compost counterparts. So let's talk about how to prepare leaves for maximum fungal benefit. You don't actually need a shredder though. Honestly, chopping leaves does help speed up colonization. Just pile your leaves in a shaded area, keep them lightly moist, and, well, avoid packing them in too tightly. In small backyard gardens, a simple 4 to 6 inch layer directly on the soil works perfectly. For raised beds, I like to mix a 2-to-1 ratio of partially decomposed leaves to existing soil. This really improves the structure while letting roots penetrate easily. Over time, the leaves just kind of integrate naturally without disturbing the fungi at all. Now, hydroponic systems, or pots, benefit from a lighter mix, about 10 to 15% leaf mold by volume, so that the fungi can develop without messing with drainage or aeration. The key here is patience. The slower the decomposition, the stronger the fungal network. Monitoring your leaf piles is actually pretty simple and effective. Even though you're not aiming for heat, tracking conditions is still useful. That's where the RioTemp 36-inch Fahrenheit Backyard Pro thermometer comes in handy. I use it to make sure leaf piles stay moist and don't accidentally overheat. The 36-inch stem lets me reach deep into large piles, and the digital guide gives tips for maintaining moisture and structure. Unlike hot compost, the thermometer isn't measuring a target temperature. It's more of a quality check for fungal activity and moisture balance. Let's go over applying leaf mold to your garden. When your leaf piles have partially decomposed into that dark, spongy material, they're ready for use. In backyard beds, I mix it 2-to-1 with existing soil. For top-dressing raised beds, 2 to 4 inches per season works well. In containers, I mix 15% leaf mold right into the growing media to boost water retention and nutrient release. Even in hydroponics, a fungal-rich amendment in the medium really enhances root function and microbial stability, leading to healthier, more productive plants. So, let's talk about some common mistakes gardeners make with leaves. Honestly, the biggest error is impatience. Trying to force decomposition by dumping in a bunch of high nitrogen materials or constantly mixing the pile actually disrupts the fungi you want to encourage. Overwatering is another trap. When piles get soggy, they turn anaerobic, start to smell, and just won't produce that quality humus you're after. And, fresh kitchen scraps really should be composted separately in hot piles. If you add them directly to your leaf piles, you're encouraging bacteria instead of fungi, which only slows the process down. Just remember, slow decomposition is the whole point here. Leaves are a long-term investment in your soil's health. Now, combining leaves with compost, well, that's often the best of both worlds. I'm not against compost entirely, not at all. It's excellent for those immediate nutrient needs, especially when you've got kitchen scraps. The real trick is in the layering about 3 inches of hot compost for fast nutrient release, then top it with 3 or 4 inches of leaf mold for that long-term fungal development. In raised beds, this approach gives you soil that feeds your plants right away and keeps doing so consistently for months. It's really all about balance. Short-term growth without sacrificing long-term resilience. So, when's the best time to add leaves for maximum impact? Late autumn or early winter is ideal. During those cooler months, leaves start to decompose slowly, giving fungi plenty of time to establish before spring planting. In my raised beds, I refresh the top layer every year. For containers, you want to incorporate leaf mold either at planting or when you're repotting. Even just a small amount improves water retention, nutrient buffering, and boosts microbial diversity, which makes your soil way more forgiving during dry spells or heat waves. The real payoff of fungal dominance is that patience truly pays off. Beds layered with leaf mold develop deep roots, stable moisture, and nutrient-rich soil that lasts through the seasons. Unlike hot compost, which gives your plants a quick spike of nutrients, leaves feed the soil itself, and that in turn sustains your plants over time. You'll see crops growing steadily, less susceptible to stress, and your whole garden ecosystem becomes more self-sustaining. So just a few final thoughts. Really give leaves a chance over compost. If you've been chasing those hot compost temperatures and spending hours flipping piles, maybe it's time to try a leaf-focused, fungal-dominated approach. Collect your leaves, keep them lightly moist, and let nature do most of the work. Sure, use hot compost for those immediate needs, but let leaves build the real foundation of your garden. Tools like the RioTemp 36-inch Fahrenheit Backyard Pro compost thermometer with digital composting guide, there's a link in the description, can help you monitor moisture and fungal activity without interfering with the process. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to Farm Logic for more real-world gardening strategies that work for backyard beds, raised beds, and even hydroponic systems. Share this video with your fellow gardeners so more people can build soil that sustains itself, grow healthier plants, and cut down on fertilizers. Long-term soil health starts with slow, deliberate action, and honestly, in this case, leaves beat compost every single time.